Here come yes, and we live, brother.
Come.
All right, man. Let's go ahead and get it cracking, man. All right, Shalom. First off, we want to start off as always by giving our praise and glory unto Yahweh,
Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim Rachakwadash.
Double honors unto the apostles, the elders, and the bishops of Great Millstone. I want to send much love unto the brothers out there doing this work in truth and sincerity. And I also want to send peace and blessings unto the believers of the hopeful elect. And once again, we're back on this Thursday night through the spirit of Yahweh Shai to give you brothers and sisters current news and prophecy and to get into the Holy Scriptures, and just trying to, keep you brothers out there and you sisters out there on your toes and aware of the time that we are in. If you look at this current world, man, you see that wickedness has been exalted more and more. You see Esau coming out with his agenda. He's open with it. Okay, they're not hiding anymore. And it's time for judgment, man. Because that's going to be the end result of all the madness that we see in this earth, man. I mean, people they're waxing worse and worse, man. I would say by the day, but now it's by the hour. Mm-hmm. It's getting bad, man. Like you can't even have conversations with people. They go off into some deep, crazy stuff, okay? And you see some of the weirdest things out in the world now, man, on social media. It's all messed up. And people don't get me, talking about the food that we're eating. My brother had posted that video, man. I was looking at that video. Did you post it? I was like, bro. I mean, who posted it? The Elder Tazapah had posted it. Yeah, but you had responded to it. Hey, man, we need salvation, okay? But we have a few things here lined up, man. We're going to speak about, some current things. Brother, do you have anything, God?
You got it, bro.
Yeah, man. So the first one we'll get into is, these so-called UFOs and all this stuff that they've been talking about in the media as of lately. You had this Edomite, who claimed that he was told that the U.S. government, they have alien technology, meaning that they have some alien crashed aircraft somewhere. I don't know what he was saying, but it's a bunch of madness, okay? Because the chariots of Yahweh Shai don't crash, all right? Those chariots, they wasn't mass produced in China. GMC didn't make those chariots. Ford didn't make them chariots. Elon Musk didn't make them chariots, okay? Those chariots come from the heavens, man, and they don't crash, okay? They don't have malfunctions, all right? And to hear that a so-called UFO crashed, it's madness, okay? Because you mean to tell me that these so-called aliens, right, they traveled through the galaxy, they traveled through outer space, right? Going from different, dimensions and, galaxies, but then get to America and crash.
Right.
Don't make no damn sense, man. All of the obstacles out in the heavens, and they get down here to America, and then just crash in America, right? They ain't crashed nowhere else in the world but America. But people actually believe this stuff, man. It's madness, okay? I guess that alien was testing his baby mama and lost control, right? Get the hell out of here, man. You know that it's an angel of Yahweh Shai in those chariots. And so I'm going to play a small portion here in this video from We On News, man. And I'm going to get a few precepts and I'll pass it to the brother here. But this is a video piece, put up by We On News. It says, UFOs and aliens, what's the truth? So I'll start playing it here around the 121 mark. And brother, let me know, if I'm having any issues or problem with anything, please let me know, brother. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna start it here at the 121 mark, and I'll let a little bit of it play, and then I get into the precepts, man.
2023.
As we convene here, UAP are in our airspace, but they are grossly underreported.
These sightings are.
He said UAPs are in our airspace and they're grossly underreported. Now that part I believe, because Esau do see the chariots all the time, man. Esau got all these satellites in the heavens, all these planes and jets. Okay, he's in the outer space, so you know he's saying the chariots, man. And this is the new name for the chariots. All right, unidentified anomalous phenomenon. Okay, a UAP. But these are the chariots of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. And yes, they are grossly underreported because Esau, for years, has been trying to hide this information. And not the information of a so-called, a UFO or a UAP crash somewhere, but the sightings of the chariots, okay? And the study came out last year, I believe. They said that America has more UFO sightings than any other country, man. Why is that? Because of the eyes of the Lord are on this wicked kingdom, man. You know what, brother? I get that precept real quick.
Okay. And while you're getting that, I looked up the definition of anomalous on Google, and it says deviating from what is standard, normal, or expected. That's what reminded me of that Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, when it says our salvation so far beyond all that they look for.
Right.
Things are from right. They are aliens, right? In the sense of they're not from this current world, man. But that's our Lord coming on those chariots, and the angels go being foreign deities, man, coming down to the earth. You got it, bro.
Right, yeah, but this is a precept here. Okay, this is why America is seeing so many chariot sightings, man, because it's time for judgment. All right, this is Amos 9 verse 8. It says, "Behold, the eyes of the Lord God, Yahweh Bashim Hawashai, are upon this sinful kingdom." Now, when it was written, okay, brothers and sisters, it was talking about Israel. But now in the spirit, this applies to Esau, okay, to America. The eyes of the Lord are the angels, all right, brothers and sisters, and they're upon this sinful kingdom. It says, "And I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, said the Lord Yahweh Bashim Hawashai." So the Most High is watching this place, man. And this is why you're starting to see all of this information about UAPs or so-called UFOs in the media, man. But Esau has his agenda to it. All right, he's going to throw in his lies and everything. But these chariots are real. Okay, so I just wanted to say that.
Are not rare or isolated. They are routine. Military aircrew and commercial pilots, trained observers whose lives depend on accurate identification, are frequently witnessing these phenomena.
A real-life drama is currently being played out in Washington, D.C., the capital of the United States. Its central character, retired Major David Grush. A former U.S. intelligence officer, he's now a whistleblower with a clear purpose.
I was informed in the course of my official duties of a multi-decade UAP crash retrieval and reverse engineering program, to which I was denied access to those additional read-ons when I requested it. I made the decision, based on the data I collected, to report this information to my superiors and multiple inspectors general, and in effect becoming a whistleblower.
He wants to prove the United States is in possession of alien craft and non-human biologics.
That's a lie. That's a bunch of cap, okay? The United States government does not have a UFO somewhere ducked off in the desert, man. A crashed chariot. It doesn't make sense, man. As I said, if an alien can travel in the outer space from galaxy to galaxy, but get to America and learn, and forget how to drive and just crash somewhere and Esau go pick it up. That don't make no sense, man. If they have technology, so-called, that's greater than ours, you think they have a malfunctions, man? No. That's the lie, okay, brothers and sisters? That is the lie. That Esau have an alien, somewhere in a damn laboratory dissecting his body is madness. But Esau do see the chariots, okay?
If what Grush is saying is true, aliens are definitely not the only things coming to our planet from far, far away. Speaking on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, Spielberg, who has directed many sci-fi classics, revealed that he, too, believes that aliens exist, and that the US government is trying to cover up their existence. Spielberg said, and we quote, "I think it..."
All right,
Then the
I'm gonna fast forward here a little bit, and then I get into the scriptures here.
question everybody wants answered.
Have you faced any retaliation or reprisals?
The testimony in front of Congress has opened up more questions than the answers it provided.
Be careful what I say in detail because there is.
It could also act as an impetus for more investigations. But how did the modern-day sightings of UFOs first come about, and what exactly are UFOs? In 1952, the US Air Force coined the term UFO, just 5 years after pilot Kenneth Arnold added flying saucer to the world's lexicon. During the summer of 1947, Arnold flew past Mount Rainier in Washington state and found a flying disc on his property northwest of Roswell Army Field. The next day, a public information officer at the Army base released a news statement revealing that the US Army recovered a flying disc from a man's ranch. Although Arnold denied initially describing them as saucers, the name by then had already made its mark in popular culture. According to the Air Force Declassification Office, UFOs were initially defined as those objects that remain unidentified after scrutiny by expert investigators. Though today the term UFO is colloquially used to refer to any unidentifiable sighting regardless of whether it has been investigated. US government entities have always been tight-lipped about UFOs. The secrecy seems to have fueled conspiracy theories that aliens and their spacecraft are hidden by the government in Area 51. But what is Area 51? Area 51 is synonymous with tales of UFOs, government cover-ups. Area 51 is the popular name for a United States Air Force base. It is located at Groom Lake, a dry lakebed in the Nevada desert, 135 kilometers north of Las Vegas. What goes on inside this area is extremely secretive and guarded. Members of the public are kept away by warning signs, electronic surveillance, and armed guards. Although the site is now visible on satellite images, it is illegal to fly over Area 51. Conspiracy theories surrounding the base suggest that it is used for the testing of alien technology recovered from supposed crash sites.
Okay, so that's all I want to play on this video. Lord willing, the brother put this video in the chat, and you can finish it out. Okay, it's 20 minutes long, but yeah, brothers and sisters, ain't no chariots crashing anywhere. There are no little gray aliens, driving those vehicles, man. Those are the angels of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, and whom you know as Jesus Christ, whose name is Yahushai. He's returning in a so-called flying saucer, in a so-called UAP. All right, him and the angels, man. And they will not have any technical difficulties. They won't crash, okay? What they will do is bring judgment to the world. And so I get into a few of these precepts and I pass it to the brother, man. So first scripture is Acts chapter 1, verse 9, all right? It says, and when he had spoken these things, right, that he is talking about our Lord Yahushua. While they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. Now, as I said before, I'll say it again. Ask a Christian, what was this cloud that received our Lord out of their sight, that took them to heaven? What kind of cloud was that, man? They don't know. It was a so-called UFO, man, a chariot that came down and beamed up our Lord Yahushua out of their sight. It says, verse 10, and while they looked steadfastly toward heaven as he went up, behold, two men stood by them in white apparel. And who are these two men talking about? These are two angels, okay? Verse 11 says, which also said, ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Yahushua, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. So the angels gave the apostles and us a prophecy concerning Yahushua and his return. They said, just as you've seen him leave and go into heaven in that cloud, he's coming back in like manner, in the same fashion, all right? In that cloud, man. And every eye is going to see him, as it says in prophecy, okay? And let's get that real quick. This is Revelation chapter 1 and the 7th verse. It says, behold, he cometh with clouds. So he's coming with the angels, okay? It says, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him, even so amen. So the nations of the world, they're going to wail because of Yahushua, meaning be in grief, okay? And let's get this word wail here in the Greek. Because nowadays, okay, when most people see a chariot, all right, some people be screaming and hollering, you know, let me see. Yeah, man, some people be screaming and hollering. Some people just be pointing, you know, saying, man, God, man, what the hell is that? When Yahushua come back, they're going to be in grief and wailing, okay? Why? Because the power going to be on full display.
Strong's G 2875, Copto.
Right, it says to cut, strike, smite, to cut from, cut off, to beat one's breast for grief. It says down here in the Strong's definition, it says to beat the breast in grief, cut down, lament, mourn, bewail. So people are going to be in a state of agony, man, tripping at our Lord Yahushua, man, and the angels, and be amazed at the sight of our Lord, man, okay? Don't let Esau trick you with this BS he put in the news. This is the real deal that we're going into right now in the scriptures, man, okay? Our next precept here is Isaiah chapter 19, starting at verse 1. All right, it's still concerning Yahushua, this still concerning Yahushua and him coming back on the chariots, man. So Isaiah 19 and 1, it says, the burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud and shall come into Egypt. So here in Isaiah, we get a glimpse of what he saw in the vision. He said he saw the Lord riding upon a swift cloud. Now, back in Acts, what did it say? A cloud came and got Yahushua and took him into the heavens. But Isaiah is talking about his return. He's riding on the cloud now. He's not riding on the actual cloud. He's in the chariot, man, in a so-called UFO. This is what he's seen in the vision. It says, and shall come into Egypt. This Egypt, brothers and sisters, isn't talking about ancient Egypt. This Egypt is the same Egypt spoken about in Revelation chapter 11, verse 8. That spiritual Egypt, which is Babylon the Great. Our Lord is going to come in those chariots to this country, man. It says, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. Why? Because people are going to be in a state of grief, of mourning, man, at the appearance of Yahushua and those mighty angels, man, especially you Edomites, okay? Because that's going to be the end of your downfall. This Isaiah 63, verse 1. It says, who is this that cometh from Edom, right, with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his might, I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Now, what is Isaiah saying here? Or what is he seeing in this vengeance? A vision. A vision, okay? I see the word vengeance. I say vengeance, but vision. He's saying our Lord Yahushua returning, man, and battling Esau, the Edomites. Now, according to Vocab Malone and some other Christian, believers, the Edomites are already destroyed. And they died during the Romans-Jewish wars, according to them. That's madness, man. If that's the case, then Isaiah, he's lying in prophecy. If the Edomites are all gone. But Yahushua, he's coming back to make war against Esau, man. Against the beast and the 10 horns. As it says in the scriptures. But it says, this that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his might. Of his strength. Traveling in what? A so-called UFO, man. And he's going to go to war with you Edomites, man. It says, wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth the wine fat. This is all parabolic of our Lord doing a bunch of slaughtering, man, of the Edomites, okay? Of this kingdom that we're, presently in, man. This is what Yahushua is coming to do, okay? And I have 2 more precepts here. This is Jeremiah chapter 49, verse 22. It says, behold, he shall come up and fly as the eagle and spread his wings over Basra. Flying as an eagle, man, on a chariot. And spread his wings over Basra. Basra was a chief city back in ancient Edom, man. Okay? But he's going to spread his wings over America. It says, and at that day shall the heart of the mighty man of Edom be as the heart of a woman in her pains. Why? Because they're going to be afraid, man. At the sight of Yahushua and those angels, man. That day is going to be a glorious day, bro. A fearful day. But it's going to be glorious because Yahushua is going to come and finally put an end to our captivity, to the hill that we're catching, man, to these bodies. I mean, everything that we're dealing with, brothers and sisters, is going to all go out the window once Yahushua come back, man. And the last precept I have here is Isaiah chapter 31. And I'll start at verse 4. It says, "Of thus hath the Lord Yahweh spoken unto me, like as the lion and the young lion roaring on his prey, when a multitude of shepherds is called forth against him, he will not be afraid of their voice, nor abase himself for the noise of them. So shall the Lord of hosts come down to fight for Mount Zion and for the hill thereof." So this is basically parabolic speaking of when these nations, okay, turn to fight against the Lord, as it speaks about in 2 Corinthians 13, he ain't gonna be shook by it, man. As it says in 2 Corinthians 13, that he saw the violence of the multitude. And he wasn't troubled by it, man. But he fought. And guess what? He's gonna destroy you devils, man, for Mount Zion's sake. It says, verse 5, as birds flying, so will the Lord of hosts defend Jerusalem. Defending also, he will deliver it, and passing over, he will preserve it. So not only is the Lord coming back to fight for us and to take down this devil, but he's also coming to deliver us in those so-called UFOs, man. Okay? That's our salvation, brothers and sisters. If you didn't know that, those vehicles, man, is going to take us out of Babylon, Lord willing. We're going back to the land of Israel when the Lord come back. So now, brother, I pass over to you. Pretty much all I had.
Okay, Con. Let me share my screen real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And Shalom Tala, Akim.
Con.
I want to comment, boy. Y'all pushing my shout. Hey, Barak Thumb. And whoever tuning in.
Con.
But all right, there we go.
Got it.
Con. All right, cool. Yeah, so and we shouldn't be long, Lord willing, get straight to the point with it, but I got this video right here that I want to play, from my man Guy. He be on fire, But I'm gonna let him speak on this a little bit. We might get through a good portion of this video. I'm gonna jump from from here to there with it, but I do want to play this video because what he go into it is Nigeria and the situation they going through right now. You see, matter of fact, I'm full screen, huh? Okay, come on. But Nigeria and what they experiencing right now, right? Unemployment, you see, and how their hard times are contributing to the CBDC, drawing them closer to a digital currency and changing their infrastructure. And the way it's doing it is because seeing they, somewhat, impoverished in a way, which, that's one of the best in Africa, more the advanced places in Africa, Nigeria. And it's going to say that in this video. But the point is, they're going through a downtime right now, and they need a lot of help from bigger banks, as far as the bank of the World Bank. Right now, they need loans and stuff, but it's stipulations that they're giving them, that the bank giving them. They saying, look, if you want this help that we keep giving you, these the rules you got to abide by. Right? They're gonna speak on fossil fuel, and is also gonna speak on you got to go digital then. And then one thing he gonna say out of here, that's America pushing them people with these policies, right? So I want to hit that video, but I'm gonna also hit this, which it runs right into this. From Blacklisted News, it says the government nudge unit is working with woke banks to implement secret social credit system disguised as carbon guilt trip tracker. So you see how they put in your social credit score, how they rank you among your peers, right? How you doing in society? Is you abiding by what we saying? Is you moving around too much, right? Is you buying too much stuff? It ain't the old life no more. You see, and look, if your carbon credit score is low, you ain't gonna better get by in society. And again, they linking all this with what? Your credit score with the digital currency. So it says, right, disguised as a carbon guilt tracker. So we're going to touch on that. And then I'll follow with this video right here from Blacklisted News as well. How China shaming their citizens. And I know we spoke about it here a few times, but how they shaming their citizens. Oh, and to go back to this, not just carbon footprint and digital currencies, but they also linking social media too. And we spoke about that last week. Now we getting to see what place Elon Musk, he might be one of the platforms that started off. These social media platforms, they go link that with your bank accounts eventually. Who knows how it's gonna go? You see what you tweet, and they go bring up old tweets, and but we'll get into it. So matter of fact, I'm gonna start with a precept. This Revelation, I get it on here. This Revelation chapter 19 and 10. Because that's what it all boils down to. Because when you look at some of these videos, like Coin Bureau right here, Now he be going in. I don't know you seen a day one of the Quack brothers, he did a video about the MOTB. And he was going in there first, but then he said, but I don't believe if something's gonna be under, under your skin.
Right.
Be, something on your forehead or your hand. I was like, wow, see, that's why people need the prophets. Because they can lead us up all the way to that point. But once it get time to what exactly is the MOTB and how that's where you need the prophets. You see? But let me get this real quick. This Revelation 19 in verse 10. Let me get the KJV. It says, and I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren. Right now, this the Apostle John falling at the feet of an angel. And he said, don't do that. I'm just like you. I'm of thy fellow brethren that have the testimony of Yahushua. Worship the Most High. For the testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy, man. And all these things that we talking about is leading to one of the major prophecies. Everybody talking about this digital currency now, or scanning your eyes, or putting your hand under a device. Everybody talking about this. People know about World War III now. Concentration camps, so on and so forth. Why? Because prophecy is coming to pass. You see, so I'm gonna go ahead and play this vid. I'm gonna make points throughout and whatever you got. All right. And I mind you, as we watch this, he's gonna be talking about Nigeria, but the whole point of this is he's saying what Nigeria going through, expect this layout to happen to a lot of other places around the world, even America, man.
For all transactions. Digital ID for everything. Smart cities that track your movement. Central bank digital currencies for all transactions. Restrictions on cash. Sharing your social media information to create a bank account. All sounds like a conspiracy theory, you might say. Well, that's the reality on the ground in Nigeria today, and tomorrow it'll be a reality in your country too. That is, of course, unless you do something to stop it. Now, the first step to doing anything is to be informed, which is why we're going to tell you what's happening to Nigerians, how they're fighting back, and how you can do the same.
And we know it all go balls down, so you ain't gonna better do nothing about it. And this about to be examples of how these governments gonna cause all. Even the World Banks, the IMF, and when you look at, matter of fact, when you look at the people, because I was looking at it earlier. So this is a list of members of the IMF, the International Monetary Fund. It's pretty much everybody, 190 member countries, right? From Belgium, Bolivia, China, Greece, Iraq, shit. So pretty much everybody, and it's the same one. Well, not the same one, but this the World Bank, who make up the members. Now this got 189. So pretty much the same people minus one. Now what are you about to go into?
Did you know that Nigeria leads the world in crypto adoption? Depending on your source, up to 50% of Nigerians use crypto on a regular basis. This is despite the fact that Nigeria happens to have the largest oil reserves in Africa has also made it one of the most geopolitically important countries on the continent. Lo and behold, the United States and China have both been trying to influence Nigeria for decades, including directly interfering in its elections. So, when the Nigerian economy imploded in 2015, the World Bank didn't hesitate to step in with yet another multi-billion-dollar loan. For reference, the World Bank is an international development bank that's closely allied with the United States and issues loans with conditions that support US interests.
Come on, man. The World Bank, now we just looked at the World Bank members. That was a whole lot of people. Well, why it mainly, or like you just said, or heavily support American interests? You see? Now we see the dominance of the end of that fourth beast, man. Babylon the Great.
If you want evidence of this, just watch our recent video about Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen's recent hearing. It was filled with discussions about how the US could better use the World Bank to influence not only developing countries in places like Africa, but also developed countries in places like Europe.
Come on, man. So even while we're talking about this, because people might say, well, he making a point about Nigeria, but they suffering, so they need help. Well, I'm gonna play it back, but he said not just in places that's not developed, but even developed countries as well. And he gonna speak on Europe later on in the lesson and how the EU, they helping out people out there. So you got the China, they willing to help these weaker nations build their infrastructure up to go digital and help them with going digital, whether it's with the ID or financially, man. Because they good. The big America, China, so on and so forth, they good. So they helping out everybody else so they can, you know, do it at the same time. Remember, this is going to be a worldwide event. I'm going to play it back.
Could better use the World Bank to influence an investment bank that's closely allied with the United States and issues loans with conditions that support US interests. If you want evidence of this, just watch our recent video about Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen's recent hearing. It was filled with discussions about how the US could better use the World Bank to influence not only developing countries in places like Africa, but also developed countries in places like Europe. If you've seen that video already, you'll recall that the World Bank has recently been issuing loans that include conditions on restricting fossil fuel development. Now, this is bad news for Nigeria, given its dependency on the oil industry. Nigeria is also one of the World Bank's biggest borrowers. According to Reuters, the World Bank has issued no less than 130 loans to Nigeria. It's not entirely clear how much money Nigeria currently owes the World Bank as a result, but a Nigerian news report from last year noted that it owed $13 billion, making Nigeria the World Bank's fourth largest debtor. And it's not just restrictions on fossil fuels that the
So he about to say it's not just restrictions on fossil fuels, you know, in which I was looking up that earlier. And it's pretty much going into, you know, animals that's, you know, extinct and buried from the past, using them to make things as far as coal, natural gas, oil, right? But he said, look, the World Bank not only telling Nigeria, we'll help you out under these conditions as far as that, but this what else you got to get down with. Let's see.
$13 billion, making Nigeria the World Bank's fourth largest debtor. And it's not just restrictions on fossil fuels that the World Bank has been demanding from Nigeria either. If you watched our video about digital ID or fast payments, you'll know that the World Bank has been rolling out both in its debtor countries with the help of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Case in point, the World Bank gave $400 million to Nigeria to create a national digital ID in 2019, and it's just one of many digital ID funds the country has received from the US-affiliated entity. This investment seems to have paid off. 100 million Nigerians, almost half the country, now have digital ID. You'd be forgiven for thinking that Nigerians have been rushing to adopt this digital ID. In fact, the only reason they have is because the Nigerian government made it mandatory.
There was calls. There was call. Even government's gonna be calls. And then later on, in them articles, that's gonna be examples on how the citizens gonna be calls. When the scriptures say he gonna cause all, it meant that, man. You see? But another thing he said, that the World Bank, all its debtors, everybody who is in debt, if you want to get out of that, you got to go this way, go digital. So they forcing these things on everybody. Now, mind you, who are the members of the World Bank again? We could look at it. It's pretty much everybody. So everybody down with it. You know, is eventually going to be up to these stronger countries to help out the weak, as he's going to explain in this video, that what America, and the World Bank and China doing with Nigeria right now.
Reportedly need a digital ID to get a driver's license.
Matter of fact, let me get that precept real quick. There's Revelation 13 and 15. It says, and he had power, and it was going into that second beast, but who over it? Esau, Edom. And you see, every time you mention that World Bank, it's influenced by America. Out of all the members, why just America? Right. It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed, whether that's literal or outcast to society. And it says, and he causeth all. So we're going into examples of how this man through his system going to cause everybody to go this way. Governments. And then once the governments be caused, as Nigeria, they're going to push it on the citizens. And that's what he was saying. There's 100, I forgot how many people, I'm going to play it back, but he said there's a lot of people that adopted it already in Nigeria, but not just because they wanted to. It was made mandatory. Cause of all. It says, and he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. Hey, Bishop Nate, small countries, you know, it says free and bond to what? To receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. This is the beginning stages of it. This is the beginning, right? It says, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of the name. You got some, Mark? If not, I'll play it. I'll finish it.
Digital ID. In fact, the only reason they have is because the Nigerian government made it mandatory. You reportedly need a digital ID to get a driver's license, to get a SIM card for your phone, and apparently to participate in elections too.
And that's small things. A drive, it's you need it for this society, but a SIM card for your phone. Come on, man.
Yeah.
You got it out.
No, I'm just saying, brother. Hey, it's getting real, man. You're seeing these small examples, brothers and sisters. This is what's coming to America, man. I know that it's easy, you know what I'm saying, to watch it happen inside of other countries, okay? But this stuff is coming to all the world. And them being, them making, this mandatory in their country is all a part of ESG, okay? And also those SDGs. That's what you're seeing. Those sustainable development goals playing out. All the world is going to have to get down with that, according to the World Economic Forum. So you're seeing it play out, man. Those 17 goals. That what they say, a digital ID to do what? To go to bank accounts and do this and do that. That's all in there, bro. So don't tell me that this is a conspiracy theory. No, this is happening, okay? Like, you see them articles in that video? This fucking shit is happening. It's only a matter of time before this thing come here and it hits, man. Okay, I want to say shalom to the brother Yagadal. Shalom, Maki. How about Shabbat? Shalom, brother.
Shalom.
Shalom.
See that brother Kadash in there too. Shalom. It's a brother from Cleveland.
Huh?
It's that brother from Cleveland.
Yeah. Hey, hold on, brother. Hold up. That's a big brother?
Nah. That's the shorter brother.
Okay.
Yeah, who had the pimp frames on.
Yeah. Hey, look, brother. I forget his other name. Hold up. Okay, so what other brother name is?
Damn, what's the brother name? Causeth.
Yeah. Hey, look, their brother was talking cash money for their Earl Spence fight. Hey, we ain't heard from. Like, look, tell me, answer the phone out.
Everybody ain't never coming back to Houston.
Yeah, he never come back to Houston, man. He know Terrence Crawford is a dog.
Everybody gonna be still ducking you on the chariot. Say shalom to them brothers, man.
Yes, sir, man. Keep fighting, keep pushing, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, I hop back into it, man. But this is happening. This is happening.
And if that wasn't scary enough, the Nigerian government is now reportedly planning on, quote, combining banking cards with its national ID, be it physical or digital.
Come on, man. Bank with that ID. It's all connected.
This is almost exactly what the EU is planning with its digital ID wallet.
Hey, they are part of the beast, that EU.
The name suggests the EU's digital ID will come with a built-in wallet. And this is not a coincidence either. Remember that $400 million the World Bank gave to Nigeria to develop its digital ID? The EU was one of the contributors to the massive cash pile.
Again, the EU is a part of that. They helped Nigeria with that, man. And it said when the EU come out with theirs, it says it's going with the digital ID is going to have a mandatory wallet. So you don't have a choice if you want to separate them or not. It's mandatory wallets, man.
And the EU probably didn't do this out of kindness. It most likely did it to test the system it's about to roll out in Europe. It seems the US has been running tests of its own as well. The company that helped Nigeria's central bank build its CBDC is American, and the same company is now helping Ukraine build its CBDC.
So America over there doing the same thing that has been taking part in causing Nigeria to do, going digital. You see? And hold on, I don't want to play it back. You know, I keep playing. I want to keep stopping it. But again, the point of these nations, again, America, they want to help these smaller countries get on a level so everybody could be ready, man.
But that's just the American side of the Nigerian crypto adoption equation. The Chinese side is just as scary, if not more so. Whereas the World Bank has been giving loans to Nigeria with strings attached, China has been building much of Nigeria's modern infrastructure.
Boom.
Russia has been playing a role as well.
See?
Per a press release by the CCP, quote, China is the leading contributor to Nigeria's infrastructure development. More than 20 Chinese companies are participating in the construction of major projects concerning the economy and people's livelihood in Nigeria, comprising of railways, roads, electricity, ICT, and oil refineries. Now, that last part should give you pause. China is also involved in Nigeria's oil industry. In case it wasn't clear enough, China has been meddling in Nigeria's affairs for quite some time. However, it wasn't until the economic implosion in 2015 that China's presence started to have a negative effect on the local population. The New York Times wrote a sobering article about this. The TLDR is that China has been flooding Nigeria with cheap Chinese goods, African fabric designs, more cheaply than Nigeria.
I'm gonna jump a little bit to about 12 minutes. About 12, let's see. I see about 11:45, 11:55. Now, what he about to go into right here is how they gonna start forcing that CBDC just to ban cash. And it's saying what all is leading to, because again, unemployment and everything, what this leading to is people getting tired, uproars, riots, something need to be done.
Increasing. For those who don't know, Nigerian officials are infamous for embezzling the country's oil money, which I'll remind you makes up almost 75% of the government's revenue. The famous case comes from 2016, when a whopping $16 billion in oil revenues were reported missing by the government's treasury. Some sources suggest that Nigerian officials have embezzled more than $500 billion of the government's revenues over the last 50 years. The practical effect of this is apparently that Nigerians don't want to pay taxes because they know the money won't be spent on infrastructure. Most of it will just be stolen. This is probably a contributing factor to the average Nigerian's apparent hatred for international organizations like the World Bank and suspicion of predatory countries like China. And there have been multiple reports of, first, oil prices plummeted. Then the World Bank and others came in with loans that required Nigeria to restrict its oil production. And then China came in and started taking over key parts of Nigeria's oil infrastructure. This means that the only way Nigeria's corrupt politicians can make money is by essentially appeasing both sides. They're rolling out digital ID and CBDCs to get money from the World Bank.
Right.
And they're rolling out all kinds of faulty and unreliable infrastructure to get money from China. The worst part is that what Nigerian officials claim to be doing and the consequences their actions are having are completely contradictory. Take the e-Naira, for example. In theory, it's meant to increase financial inclusion. In practice, however, you can only access it if you already have a bank account.
It's just like that Fed now. The e-Naira is Nigeria's CBDC, right? You know, and what they just showed the app. What they said with the Fed now, when it eventually come, it's gonna hit with that app. But now he said, look, it's supposed to be inclusive for everybody, you know, to make everybody's life easy, everything faster. But you only can use it if you have an account with it, though.
Now, to be fair, this is something that could easily be changed, and it's possible that it has been by the time of shooting this video. But even then, Nigerians do not have the reliable physical infrastructure required to adopt the e-Naira. Consider that almost half the country still doesn't have internet access. Nevertheless, Nigerian officials don't seem to care because they still seem hell-bent on effectively banning cash to force CBDC adoption.
That's how you know it's an agenda, because it said a lot of them don't even have internet out there, but they still doing away with cash just to force CBDC adoption, right? System can't keep that showing they being forced to do this. You know, hey, even America, hey, when the lights eventually go off, guess what they still gonna be working on and getting implemented? The system, that CBDC. Just because the internet ain't on for you, don't mean they still ain't moving behind the scenes, man.
Right.
Probably to get more World Bank money. Some of you might have seen all the headlines about Nigeria restricting cash use for exactly that purpose late last year. What you might not have seen was their digital ID and will require social media information as part of KYC to create a bank. There were elections in February. Since that time, we've seen other insane headlines related to both the Nigerian government and Nigeria's central bank. Highlights include the creation of smart cities, where every citizen will be tracked using their digital ID and will require social media information as part of KYC to create a bank account. This foreshadows...
Again, they go link your IG, your I will say Twitter, but your X account, you know, Facebook. They go link all that with that digital ID. Because again, how you move in the streets gonna be judged, and how you act on the internet when you at home, you know, during this lockdown is gonna be judged. Everybody get in line. What you post, if it's against the government, take some of his credit off. You can't go get a burger today. You know, and these things seem far-fetched, but it's not. And look, these articles that we're gonna hit on, that's gonna be when these people go be forced, because they look at peer pressure. People gonna forward under peer pressure, you know.
Shadows restricting freedom and financing for Nigerians who openly disagree with the government's corrupt officials, which is terrifying to say the least. Not surprisingly, Nigerians haven't been too keen on opting into this kind of system, which is why they've been opting out using cryptocurrency and cash. It looks like cryptocurrency could soon be the only alternative available to many Nigerians. That's because the physical Naira has been collapsing ever since the government removed its currency peg in June. According to the government, the Naira lost 23% of its value overnight. Affiliated entities, most likely the former, as it was reportedly CBDC adoption. Now, then again, it could just as easily be Nigeria itself. Hyperinflating away cash is a great way to force CBDC adoption.
What's been happening now? Right? Rates been going up again, inflation, hyperinflation, but he said that's a great way for these countries to adopt that CBDC, man. And that's what I've been seeing with the Fed a lot. They want to keep pushing it. They want to keep pushing it, make people's lives hard. Force you into coming to them for a UBI, a universal basic income, to cry to them. Again, as we always mention, just like them Egyptians, well, everybody really in the region did unto Joseph, man. Came and cried, was willing to give everything up just so Joseph could give them food. That was the ancient stimulus check right there.
Right.
Even till they said, look, the last thing we'll give up, Joseph, we gave up everything. We'll give up ourselves. That was an ancient example of cause and all. You got it though, bro. If you have something.
Yeah, brother. Hold up. Echo.
Okay,
Now I want to say, change the screen to me real quick so I can show this.
You got it.
Yeah, I just want to show this here. Just on a few things that the brothers are bringing out, man. Okay, look, we showed this before. Okay, this is from our common agenda. Okay, this is a official UN document. Okay, of this our common agenda, a global digital compact, an open, free, and secure digital future for all. That's the future, man. A digital future. But going down here to these to this here. Okay, the brother mentioning in his video about what? Digital IDs, right? Digital IDs linked with bank or mobile money accounts. This is what's coming. And they'll be able, all right, to track and locate everything. Everything you buy, everything you sell, it will be tracked. Guarantee. All right. I also spoke about smart cities, man. Here you go. Right here, man, number 11. Okay, sustainable cities and communities. It says here, let me see. Here we go. It says, intelligence systems deployed information from remote sensors to guide traffic signals and maximize the efficient flow of commuters in urban areas. They can be used to design safe transportation for vulnerable and underserved communities. This is BS. This is all a part of their plan, man. Okay? To keep you in that digital prison. And also, 12 goes into digital currency, if you can read between the lines, okay? Mm-hmm. Digital technologies such as 3D printing, the Internet of Things, big data, cloud computing, and blockchain, right, can support a circular economy and supply chain, a supply chain of resilience, in particular in manufacturing industries. This is digital currency, brothers and sisters. They already said they're going to use blockchain for the CBDCs, man, so that it can track everything. Okay. Also, just wanted to show that, brother.
God, I hate the water. The water. Yeah. Can I just play just a little bit more? Matter of fact, I'm gonna jump, play a couple of seconds. I'm gonna hit that article because it's something he said on how you could protect yourself from it.
Yeah.
This is something we've mentioned many times. Adoption doesn't guarantee use. Now, if you've determined that your country is capable of implementing all of these dystopian technologies and is willing to do it, then your number one imperative is to ensure that alternatives continue to exist. That means doing everything you can to ensure that cryptocurrency and cash remain legal. There have, in fact, been a few proposals floated in European countries to ensure that cash use is enshrined in law. Even the European Central Bank proposed enshrining cash use in law when it submitted its proposal for the digital euro. Perhaps they know that there are other ways of eliminating cash. The harsh reality is that cash alone is not enough to protect you against what's coming. Crypto is also required, and some would argue that gold is required too.
Mm-hmm. And I'm in it right there. And I wanted him to say that. Gold required to be protected, crypto and cash. Now I'm going to get this brother Precept, Daniela. Because there's only one thing that can get you out of this hour temptation, man. When this man really come down, as I said, Revelation 12, with them horns, with great wrath, like a dragon, with them horns, but come down with great wrath upon the world. The only thing that's going to spare you is the protection from the Lord in that day. And real quick, this Revelation 3:10, it says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, this Yahushua speaking. And that's the Apostle Kabbalah is going to that word patience, suffering. So because we had, and Lord willing, we do continue to endure through the suffering, believe through the trials, so on and so forth. The Lord said, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. A precept of Revelation 13. When he calls of all, that's when people go be tempted. Now it ain't gonna be, a little hour. Hey, what time your appointment is? I'm on at 7. Right. No, it's whatever. When in Jacob's trouble, people go be starving. Some people might give up. Some people might, pull it out for a couple of days. But whatever the Lord puts you through, is you gonna be tempted And again, right now it's go, digital currency. We might have to use the app for a while. We might have to use certain things for a while. But when it comes down to getting a device in you, that's where we got to draw the line.
Right. But I have a question right here.
Hold on, let me mute it. You got it.
Yeah, Jedediah asks. He asks. Well, he said, I wonder if they'll push up on you in the smart cities if they realize you're not being tracked. Possibly. Who knows how it's going to go, bro? But if you do have that MOTB, or you just have, the digital IDs and everything, yes, they will track you. But for the people, who try to turn it off or whatever, who knows what's going to happen? But if you're in that smart city, then you have a smart ID, you have CBDCs, and so on and so forth. Because guess what? You won't be able to buy and sell in there if you ain't got no CBDCs. All these stores are gonna be set up to only take digital currencies, man. You won't be able to take no, paperback dollar in there and say, look, give me this. That's gonna be out the window. And it's a video, brother and I Camp Yakanan had posted about Aldi over there in the UK. They're not accepting cash anymore. And the old Edomite went inside the store to buy some strawberries, and they told him, no, we ain't taking no cash. And he threw down his cash on the counter and walked out with his strawberries, saying, I'm paying with a legal tender, so call the police. And they're like, sir, we ain't taking no cash over here. And so they called the police on his ass. So basically he was stealing, even though he had, British pounds in his pocket. They didn't want to accept that. That's how strict it's going to get, brothers and sisters. Go ahead.
Now I'm going to hop into this article right here, and it's from Natural News. This was put out, July 29th, a couple of days ago, and the title says, Government Nudge Unit. And when you nudge somebody that, you pushing them, forcing them to do something, or controlling, kind of budging them to do something. It says Government Nudge Unit is working with woke banks to implement secret social credit system disguised as carbon guilt trip tracker. So in other words, they're going to be tracking people, lives on Earth, how much energy you put out, things you do, what you can't do, or what you're doing too much. And those who don't follow the rules set in place, they're going to try to make them feel guilty, right? They're going, in other words, and that's why I want to hit this after too, because in China, they're already doing it. They're shaming citizens, putting their faces up on billboards. If you ain't got your face scanned, man. And look, right here, it said right here, we're going to get to it though, Lord willing. It says facial recognition and ID check required for entering gas station. If you are being blacklisted by social credit system, right? If your credit, not a credit score with money, but if your social credit score low, it says no gas for your car. And that's just one example. You see? But we'll get to it. But let's hop in this one. So it says right here in this thing, you are the carbon footprint they want to eliminate. Blow it up. It says, imagine you just filled up at the patrol station. And you know what, too? Because in this article is going into certain apps. I wouldn't be surprised. Because they say, for example, the Fed now go have an app. That's the first phase. The digital ID. Remember they talk about EUs. It says they digital ID go be linked with a wallet to it. So it's easy for them in that same app that got your digital, and your social media. Can't forget that. So in the same app that can have your social media, your currency with the wallet, and also your social credit score on there, as it's showing right here. And what else? The digital ID, man. So all these things can easily go together in one. And if not, it could be one or two apps. Who knows? But the point is, they doing it. It says, imagine you just filled up at the patrol station and you get a message on your phone saying Did you know that this purchase is equivalent to over 200 kilograms of carbon? If you use public transport more, you'll save over half. You'll get alerts telling you, look, this is how you should do it, though. This is how you should live. And you're going to be like, how you know I just bought this shit? How you know I just got gas? You be mad and shit. You know? It says you get appetizers it tell you get a thing, you can't get appetizers next time. Right. Hey, that happened on one of them blacklisted movies, man. I mean, not blacklisted movies, Black Mirror. The phone, well, yeah, and it was one of them. The phone was telling a person, you know, kind of guiding a person. But that's what they're talking about with these little alerts. It's going to be on you, man. So it says this is a service that Kogo, a carbon impact platform, is providing for mobile banking apps. Right? Mobile banking apps. Not just regular app, banking apps, such as NatWest, with the aim to inform and change behaviors. And they are working in partnership with the notorious communist professor Susan Maichi's behavioral insight team, which was responsible for the propaganda. I ain't gonna go into that, right? But it says, in order to manipulate you into giving up your freedoms and rights without a fight. Because now I ain't gonna read this part of it because, you know, for YouTube purposes, you know, it talking about you giving health advice and shit.
Right.
Conspiracy, you know. But what she's saying right here, the team they got doing this with this banking app linked to the social credit score is Professor Susan Mitchie's, her team working on it, which her team was the same ones as what it's saying with that CV to work on these people to think, damn, everybody dying, people get sick. Let me do my part for the economy, right? For the world, for my neighbor, to make sure everything get better. So that's why I say right here, her team was doing that. So they hired her team for this same thing with the carbon footprint app. It says, in order to manipulate you into giving up your freedoms and rights without a fight, because you could be thinking you doing it for a good cause, but man, come on, man.
I got a precept for you, brother.
Go ahead, bro.
This is Psalm chapter 140, starting at verse 4. It says, "Keep me, O Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, from the hands of the wicked. Preserve me from the violent man who have purpose to overthrow my goings." And this is what Esau is trying to do, brothers and sisters. He's trying to overthrow our goings, man. Okay, take away our so-called freedom as a human being by controlling each and everything that we do, man. And you know he's gonna give hell to the prophets, bro. Okay? You think Esau gonna allow us to have CBDCs to go out to the highways and byways and preach how we preaching? No, sir. It's gonna be a test, brothers, and you need to know that. Those of us who are there preaching the gospel, even those of you who tune in and watch, okay? AI can be able to track and tell if you've been watching Hebrew Israelite videos. Mm-hmm. They'll know, just like on the movie, what was it? The Purge, right? The girl and her mom, that one. Where the girl, she was watching those videos of that, you know, so-called rebellion of Jake and them. Mm-hmm. And she watching them videos, and because she watching those videos, the government came to her apartment complex and scooped her and her mom up. Because to the government, she was a part of the resistance. So all of us gonna be challenged with this stuff, man. But especially us out there preaching the gospel, bro, we ain't gonna be able to do shit. They're gonna get, you got a face on camera, bro? Oh, no. Shut his CBDC down.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna be like them, nigga.
Right. Oh, it's like, bro, let me finish out this precept here. So like it, brother. Man. Back in Psalm 140, it says, verse 5, "The proud have hid a snare for me and cords. They have spread a net by the wayside. They have set gins for me, Selah." So the trap is being set, brothers and sisters. But Esau, he's going to be smooth with it. But the traps are in place already, man. We have the documents, we have the information. This is where life in the head, man. All right, for a dispensation of time. Go ahead, brother.
That's it. So I finished reading this article. It says Kogo is a carbon footprint management product that helps individuals and businesses to measure, reduce, and offset their impact on the climate. So they're making people feel guilty, right. You know, making people feel guilty because one, you messed up the earth. And again, it ain't even about that with Esau though. This is just his excuse to get his NWO in line, to lock the people up. But if you wanted to make that argument about climate and emissions, you did it. Come on, man, you did it. Xerxes, you know, Nebuchadnezzar, they ain't have problems with that. They ain't have holes in the ozone.
Right. That's why the UFO crashed, Doc.
You're right.
You fucked up the air. The UFO crashed, Esau. Oh, bullshit. Go ahead, Doc.
That's your funny. It says it has a powerful algorithm that can calculate the carbon emissions of all transactions on account. And it was maybe months ago, man. We showed this the new menus they was putting out. They putting out new menus. Now, even that's a transition. Remember for the lockdowns, the first lockdowns a couple of years ago, when we got out, now we had QR code menus.
All right.
And now on the menus, it's the menus, the QR code, but they got, you know, right where it had a price at, it got how much carbon you're going to be using if you get this right now.
Right.
And I think it's going to show it in here. Let's see, but let's read it. It says, and Kogo's mission statement is to support hundreds of individuals and businesses across the world to be more conscious of the impact of their spending on the people and the planet. It says, and through their banking app products, businesses and consumers can track their individual carbon emissions. And they go into certain banks, MasterCard. And it says carbon footprint trackers are being embedded into these banking apps. See, they are, when you download the app, it's in there. It says, for example, NatWest analyzes your monthly transactions and match them to their industry categories: grocery, energy, transportation. That's the main, you know, categories.
Right.
What you eating? Where you going? where you going? Why you need to take your call? And how long you gonna be there? It's 15 minutes. And transportation, man. How you moving around? It says carbon footprints are then calculated by multiplying transaction amounts by emission factors. It says so, and it's kind of example on how to look in the app. You know, and that's why they got people used to stuff like this, though. You know, tracking your steps and
right.
You know, that's all precursors, man. Esau, hey, I would say he cold, but the Most High really cold how he using him, because that's how the Most High get down, gradualism. But all those, oh yeah, how many steps I took today, or this how many carbs I ate, he was getting you ready for that.
That's all.
That's it. And you're not a banking app that can tell you, you know, you get the alert, and when you send something, I get a text message, right? Now it's all gonna be in one. It's gonna be made easy for you. And that's what Elon Musk was talking about. So it says, so if you spend 15, pounds?
Pounds.
Yeah, if you spend 15 pounds on a dress at an average high street retailer, it says that's 16 kilograms of carbon emissions you put out, CO2. It says the same 15 pounds spent on a dress from a charity shop, like, you know, like a Goodwill, because right here it says a high-end retailer. But if you get something for $15 at the Goodwill, it says then you could have a lower footprint around 4 kg. So no more stunting.
Yeah, no more Balenciaga, Jake.
Mm-hmm. Come on, man.
I don't see why niggas wear Balenciagas anyway. Why?
Right.
You niggas are. Go ahead, brother.
And they be having the skinny jeans on, the Balenciagas be big, you know, all unformed. But hey, that's swag, God. That's swag. It says So it says, I ain't gonna read this, but it just says how they working with banks to explore how banks should approach their customers to be green. How they gonna persuade you? It says, according to the nudge unit, banks should use their wealth of data to provide carbon feedback on transactions and introduce. So once they link that, it says, and introduce social credit style rewards and incentives to encourage. Like they always get niggas. It says to encourage sustainable behaviors, to make sure you keep doing it. So another, like the UBI, we're gonna give you this 2,000 every month if you keep it up. Good job. Good job.
Yeah.
You'll keep, but as soon as you go off, you ain't getting that this month. If you tighten it up just a little bit more, pull your pants up some more. You know, don't eat no meat. Start eating all this salt and green. We'll give you 3,000 a month. 3,500 a month. And look, and we'll give you extra miles that you can walk a day.
Right. Hey, they got the lab grown meat now. Lab grown meat that will be in restaurants and grocery stores near you very soon, according to America. They don't give a damn what they feed us here in this country. I mean, they don't give a damn, bro. Esau don't care. And guess what? He gonna go with that food, right where Jake at? Throw it in Piggly Wiggly, HEB. Gonna have it for cheap. And Jake gonna scoop it up. Sooner or later, you're gonna be seeing Jake eating grasshoppers. I watch and see. This nigga walking down the street, snacking on grasshoppers. Because that's all his CBDC can afford for that month. Go ahead, brother.
It says the goal is to, right, we read that. It says the goal is to nudge you towards a net zero future by using carbon impact prompts with app transactions to reflect emissions generated by your transactions. And the messages would be delivered at just the right moment, i.e. at the point of purchase. So as soon as you spend it, you get that alert. They count it. They let you know they count it. And it says, I'm jumped on. And my shit froze.
It froze? Yeah, like it froze.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, live still going though.
Well, look, shit. I'm gonna just read it.
Oh yeah, it froze all together now. Yeah, the brother live froze up, man. Let me see here. Yeah, the brother live. Yeah. Let me see. I can present. Am I at the end of the show? Slakia. Let me see something.
Okay, I'm back up. Man, Salaki, I would say East. Well, probably just my computer, you know. But hey, it is what it is. We back up the Wadi Habashim Hawashah for that, you know. But I'll finish this. I'll start to wind it down. Anyway, let me share my screen again. We can go ahead and get up out of here. I'm gonna just hit that other article, get straight to the other article. And I'm gonna put all these in the chat too so y'all can check it out.
Byron Hopkins said loud and clear. So
Okay, come. Let me throw all this in the chat before we do something.
Digital ID for everything. Smart cities that track your movement. Central.
So y'all could check them out. Just in case, you know, in case it happened again, so y'all can have it. But let me hit this article though, because my shit running slow. But you see what they doing with that app, you know, that app. And we ain't really get all into it, but let's hit this one right here about your carbon footprint. Now this one go lead to this right here, them social credit systems. So this one Blacklisted News, and this was put out July 30th, a couple of days ago. All fresh news. It says footage out of China shows giant billboards displaying the private information. What's private information? Where you live at. Would also go be private information. You know, what's supposedly be your credit score, man. It says displaying private information. And that was on that Black Mirror episode. Everybody knew your credit score, so they knew to stay away from you. It says displaying private information of citizens who have been blacklisted in the communist government's social credit score system. The public display of personal information is just one method implemented by the CCP to shame and mock citizens and keep them in line. You know, keep them in line. That's why a lot of people go be persuaded in these last days. Family might talk somebody into it. Hey, just remind me of King Saul. When the Lord really cut Saul off, when he killed everybody and he left Agag alive, then Saul told Samuel, Samuel's like, bro, what you doing? He was like, man, because the people talked me into it, right? He was like, I was afraid of the people, man. Right. A lot of people go be persuaded because of what people think, how the government feel, what people, you know, your family. That's why the scripture says, following out a multitude to do evil.
right.
You know? But it says, coming to the USA, China shames citizens who are on the blacklist of social credit system by displaying their faces, ID, addresses on every government-run billboard in a town for all to see. It says, yeah. You see? It says, you got it.
No, I said, man. Now imagine being on Times Square like that. Your face all over Times Square. These individuals are not following, policy and procedures. Go ahead, Doc.
I'm gonna just play a couple more videos. I'll wind it down. It says the viral video adds to the growing body of footage emerging from China showing the Orwellian nature of the communist government compliance under surveillance state tactics. Right. So it says Chinese people who are on the blacklist of social credit system are barred from driving their own cars. Now, facial recognition and ID check required for entering gas stations. If you're on a blacklist, no gas for you.
Man, that's total control, man.
Check him out. He just wants some gas. I'm gonna take me to X. That's all good. Yeah, he had to put his whole face in the A, like people doing right now. They're practicing with their orb. Let's see a little short. Tell them to stand back a little bit. And look, they got people used to that just signing into their iPhones. Put your face. Let us get your. They already got your face anyway. And look, that's some people tripping about the orb, scanning their eyes. You got your face in your phone all day, every day anyway.
Hey,
you got it.
Okay, no, it's echo, brother.
Okay, come on. Let's see.
Yes, what I want to say was that imagine being late for work and trying to go get some gas like that, bro. Had to sit there and wait and get your face scanned, then go get some gas. You could be late as hell for work. You gotta get some that night.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the kind of control that they want here in the earth, brothers and sisters, all right? As Mr. Klaus Schwab said, China is a model for the world. And if you read those 17 goals, those 17 sustainable goals, once again, if you read those goals, that's what it's talking about. Exactly what's going on in China, man. Whole damn life being controlled by the government. Digitally. Okay, go ahead, brother.
Okay, and I read this last part. It says, and Americans should closely observe the technology being rolled out in China's burgeoning surveillance state, as it serves as a test ground for future social credit score technologies that will soon roll out in other super states, as the brother just said, man. And I got one precept, is Luke 21:35 and 36. For as a snare shall it come on all them that dwell upon the face of the earth. Watch ye therefore. So we need to be paying attention to these things, even if it seems small, right? It says, watch ye therefore and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass and stand before the Son of Man. You know, but you got it, bro.
Yep. Yeah, man. So we pray that this information and this live was edifying to you, brothers and sisters. You know, hopefully, spark your spirit, man. Okay, to go look up some information or, give you insight to something. That's the point of these lives. And we pray that y'all was edified, man. Keep fighting, keep pushing, keep praying, keep working on yourself, all right? And pray for strength and stability, man, and equity in your lives, all right? Because time's gonna get rough. Those are a few small examples in this lesson of them, are controlling your bank account, gas, food. That's enough to drive these Americans crazy, man. Because we're so used to just going and doing things, without Esau, fucking with us like that. But it's gonna get real, man. And I just pray Yahweh Shem Yahushua, that he protect us, bro. We're gonna need divine intervention in the times to come, bro. All right, go ahead, brother.
That's it. Hey, the water for tuning in, and Lord willing, it was edifying.
Yes, sir.
Hey, but once again, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem Rachakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to all you Wakim out there who pushing this word with all truth and sincerity, and as well as to all you believers out there who believing on the gospel. Hey, keep fighting, keep pushing, hey, and keep watching. I might have to start throwing it in my outro. And keep watching, man. We're almost out of here, Yes, and with that, shalom.
Shalom, man.